Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, along with James Smith. I'm Lyle Gross, and tonight, James, we got a great couple of guys on the show. We're going to introduce John Jeffcoat and his dad, Mike, here in just a few minutes. But before we do, have you got any announcements or anything like that to visit with?
Well, the only thing I want to say is that we've got a dear friend that needs prayers, guys. I'm not mentioning no names, but he's in definite need of prayers. He supports each and every one of our channels. So just throw the prayers out toward this man, and I know he'll appreciate it. He probably won't be in here tonight.
All right, and I know who you're talking about and what's going on, sort of, thanks to you telling me.
He just come in.
This is a gentleman that watches all of our shows, and he has some serious issues going on, and please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He'll appreciate it, and James and I for sure will, because he is a super nice guy and supports everybody, and it's time to give a little back this time. So keep that in mind. I have a little story to tell you, James.
All right.
And this story is going to relate to this hat right here, Catfish Crappie. I went to my doctor today to have him check out my shoulder. And we'll find out next week when they're going to do surgery and all the stuff on that. But at the end of my doctor's appointment, I had a young gentleman come in that is a male nurse to make appointments to set up stuff for Cindy to see the doctor I seen, because she is having a little issue with her foot. And we met this gentleman, and his name was Brant Dickerson, and he's going to be in chat tonight. I haven't seen him in yet, but as he got things done, he looked up and he said, "Man, I really like that hat." He said, "I watch that guy's videos all the time." And I kind of looked at Cindy, and she looked at me, and I don't remember if it was her or me, but one of us said, "Did you ever hear of Catfish Weekly?" And he said, "Yes." And Cindy said, "Well, that's the guy that does that show." And he said, "Really?" And we got to talking, and him and his two daughters, Atlee and Bryn, watch fishing shows with their dad all the time. And he told me, and I don't remember which daughter, but one of the daughters is really good at fishing. She just don't have the desire for it the other does. And one of them may be a little older than the other or whatever. But when he pointed out the fact that he watched Mark and Catfish and Crappie and he liked that hat, I was this close to, if it had been new one, I'd have just pulled it off and give it to him. I was that impressed with the fact that all of us, and this has happened to Cindy and I a few times over the years, but this is the first time I've ever been recognized for wearing somebody else's product. And when he knew all about Mark and Catfish and Crappie, I was pretty impressed. I hope Mark enjoys the story as much as I did, because this was a really nice guy. We talked for several minutes about his daughters and them watching the show, and that he would be sure to watch our show tonight, and he watches other shows, but he's pretty taken with Mark. And Mark, I will message you later, but he really likes Catfish and Crappie. So, and as you can see, a bunch of us wear these caps all the time. I try to switch them out, but Mark's hat's very popular across the board, and I just wanted to share that with everybody.
This goes to show you never know who's watching.
That's right.
I know we've been doing it a long time, and for years we didn't push Catfish Weekly because I didn't know you're supposed to. Didn't know you're supposed to ask people to like and subscribe, which is, please, if you don't mind, we'll take them. But we didn't know you're supposed to do that. We didn't know you're supposed to tell people to come back and share the stuff with other people so they could watch it. We done the show for 3 years and never asked for a subscription. And boom, one day I get this deal about monetization, and we was way up into it and qualified for it and didn't know anything about that either. So, we was doing it because we enjoyed it. And we still do, or at least I still do. I'm pretty sure James does. Hell, he must do it. He does one on Monday night and one on Wednesday night.
Well, I just hope that we can actually touch some lives and encourage some of the youth to get outside, even if it ain't fishing, if it's hunting, chasing gold like I do, or just out rock hounding or whatever.
That's right.
Get out of them four walls and enjoy what the good Lord's blessed us with.
That's right. Exactly right. And I think that makes a world of difference in what we do. Now, with that being said, John, how is it going tonight?
Man, it's going good. I can't thank y'all enough for having me on. I wanted to give a shout out before we start to Pitt's brother, my Uncle Robbie. He's at the beach watching the show, and he's been a huge influence in my life on catfishing and fishing in general. And heck, he was the one having a boat, and I was coming up. So, I want to give him a shout out.
That's awesome. Now, I know we can't see your dad in here, but when we get ready to visit with him in a little bit, we'll have him move in.
That'll work.
Ask him some questions and stuff. But
we might have to change the screens around in order to widen his view if we can.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's not it.
That's not it.
There you
go.
There we go.
That'll work.
We got him. Now you slide over to your left. No, the opposite of him.
Yeah.
There you go.
We both get in there. Heck yeah.
There you go. In the computer. That'll work.
Yeah.
John,
that's why I say go that way.
It's pretty impressive to me when family members do shows together, especially father and son deals. I truly enjoy husband and wife teams fishing together, whether it be tournaments or not. But my dad passed away when I was 15 years old, and the last memories I have, and some of the best ones, was he wasn't able to do anything much, and him and I would go out at night, and we'd go catfishing in a pond that he helped stock when these people built their house. Dad was a carpenter, and the dam, muskrats got in there and knocked the dam out, and it was full of these gigantic turtles and channel cat, and I'd catch these channel cat and put them on a stringer because the pond was going to be redone, and they kept getting ate up by these turtles. So I took this big old hatchet I had, put it in my tackle box. We go out there one night, this sucker's up there trying to eat all these fish off my stringer, and I didn't realize that I was going to miss his head, which was what I was aiming for. And I stuck that hatchet in his back, and I had to pull him out of the water, and he's chasing me around the circle with his neck bent over. Dad come over there and stuck a piece of wood in his mouth, and I whacked that head off. We took him home. My brother cleaned him up, and we ate him. First turtle I ever had, probably the last one. I wasn't too impressed with it, but I thought that thing was going to give me hell. His head was that big around. It's giant. They was all 25, 30-pound turtles in there. And because of that water going out of there, them fish was easy pickings.
Yeah.
So he was a giant, and Dad, he wasn't getting around too good. In my mind, he didn't get over there and get that stick in his mouth near fast enough, I promise. But, we had some good times out there. There at the end, it was some things that I'll never forget. So I'm glad that you guys get to fish together and do your stuff, and I enjoy watching the videos with all of you.
We appreciate that. It's fun getting to fish with him and my other son, and try to include them, make as many memories as possible. I lost my mom, was it 11 years ago?
Yeah, 11 years.
So, down to one parent. So try to make his memories not only for me, but, for,
that's right.
The grandkids growing up, my kids and stuff. And so you just look back and relive those memories.
I agree 100%. Now's the perfect time to do it. I hope he lives forever. But every trip you guys go out, you've made another memory. And as long as them kids get to be around him, they'll enjoy it. and there's things that they will never forget.
That's right. That's right.
So that's why I have to pay attention when I make videos, make sure there ain't no little 4-letter words fly out, because you never know. My granddaughter had been watching me for about 7 months, and I didn't know it. And my wife called me one day, said, make sure you watch your language. I said, well, I don't never cuss on here, and I don't smoke on my videos or my live feeds. She said, because your granddaughter's watching it. And she was about 8 years old then. I said, no, she ain't. She said, yeah, this is her name. I said, oh, but dang, she's been watching me for 6 months, so I know. So they all live out of town, so we don't really get to see them. So they watch the videos, and they watch sometimes they pop in on the live shows. So I know there's a lot of people say, well, this ain't kids stuff or whatever, but I think if we can influence young people to get out, like we said, then I've done my part.
Well, I won't say that I don't let them fly, because if you go back and look at our netting, there's a couple edits in there, but I will say, as far as the channel, I will edit that stuff out. I don't allow it on my channel.
Yeah, we're the same way. And what we do here is we're live. So
There's no editing.
Every once in a while it happens. I'm probably the most guilty of it, but once in a while it'll slip, and it doesn't matter who it is. It's live. You just roll on like it didn't happen and keep rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see Junior Proctor's in the house.
What's up,
sir.
Junior? I need to get him to send me some of those There you go.
You haven't seen these planer boards?
They are pretty. We need to
contact Junior Proctor and have him send you a couple of these. They're amazing. I had a guy that ordered some the other day tell me they're by far the best he'd ever used, and he ordered them from Junior after the first week we started showing about. So we wanted to let everybody know. I'm pretty impressed with these. We haven't had the boat out yet to where we could try them out, but if you get a chance, if you're in the market for some planer boards, contact Junior Proctor. I promise you, he'll treat you right. He's got a great product.
I seen where he said in here that the product finally come in so he can finish mine up. He was waiting on the white to come in because mine's going to be red, white, and blue.
No,
So he was waiting on the white to come in to color them up, and then mine will be on the way. So maybe when I get a chance to go, I can put them son of a guns to use.
Well, everybody don't make them custom. Oh, yeah. Everybody don't make them custom the way you want them. But I think Junior will do colors and different things like that, and they're amazing.
Good people.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy his videos as well. He catches some really big fish.
I do, too. Junior takes his grandson out a lot, and I enjoy that a bunch. And it's just friendly, nice family style videos, and those are the ones a lot of us like to watch.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all fish as father and son, and he fishes with his grandson. To me, I will watch that over any paid high dollar, specially cut video any day. I'll watch him family videos, father, son, father, grandson, daughter, father, daughter, mother. I'll watch that stuff any day over that daggone professionally cut up video. I will.
And you know what? They don't have to catch fish. If they're sitting there reading a book, they're still out with their parent, their grandparent, their aunt, their uncle, whoever it is. They're still out there with them. And that means they enjoy spending time with that adult. And that's worth everything.
Exactly.
Now, John, you talked about them perch a little while ago. Now, you take a bunch of kids out on a boat and put them on a daggum set of perch with sabiki rigs, you will have a time of your life. Now, they'll work your tail off pulling bait off the hooks, but...
And some hooks and fingers. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Kids, don't take those off. You let Daddy take them off.
That's right.
Yeah. Them sabiki, some sharp little bitty hooks, man.
I ain't kidding. They get in you every time, just about.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I had one hooked up in the back of my truck, and I had to climb up in there with my rods and reels to get it unhooked on something in my truck. And when that rascal slipped loose, it buried 4 hooks right down my freaking back.
Man.
And I had to climb out of that truck, pulling line, pulling rods, hollering and screaming. I ended up having to cut the line. And some old guy down there fishing off the bank set up there with needle nose going, yank, yank, pulling them son of a guns out of my back. I couldn't get away from it. I was stuck.
Oh,
That sucks.
Sewed up like Frankenstein, son.
I don't know if you can see the chat we have going.
Yeah, I got the comments going.
Kevin Palmetto Cat says, Lyle, ask John how his dad got the name Pecan Spin.
I'm gonna let you say that.
Pecan spin. Well,
It's pecan, not.
Pecan.
There's no James. Tell him it's pecan.
pecan spin. Now, I guess it started back duck hunting. You know, I carried a 6-pack of pecan spins on a duck hunting trip. And my grandson Christian and John and myself would enjoy eating them. They're really good with a cup of coffee about 4:35 in the morning. And then so as we started fishing, I started bringing the pecan spins. And John one day, I think he'd been going sort of slow, the fishing. And so I busted open a pack of the pecan spins, and all of a sudden the catfish started biting. And so John said, I'm going to start calling you Pecan Spin.
This was before YouTube.
Yeah.
This was before we started the channel up. But, you know, I did a video earlier, the pecan spins bring the catfish in. And you wouldn't believe that people message me thinking I'm fishing with pecan spins. I mean, what flavor are you using? The chocolate ones? No, I'm not using pecan spins for catfish.
I ain't letting
They make a chocolate pecan spin.
Yeah, they're good.
Your life has been changed, James. Yes.
I've never tried them.
I haven't tried them, but if it says pecan and it's in a roll like this, like a cinnamon roll, dude, I'm on them.
Now, wait a minute. Palmetto Cats calls them pecan swirls. Pecan swirls.
Yeah, that's what their name is, really. But
yeah.
Hey, you know what? I don't care what you call them. Just keep them coming early in the morning when you're sitting in a duck blind waiting for it to get to light enough to shoot. Then too much better than a hot cup of coffee. I used to take three thermoses with me and all kinds of stuff to eat. They're not quite as good as Cindy's homemade cinnamon rolls, but they're really close on a cold morning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially when you're not shooting any birds.
That's right.
You take a bunch of food so you can just basically get up early to go eat breakfast in the swamp.
Well, there you go. We had stoves, and the charcoal stoves, and skillet would fit on them, and we would cook sausage and eggs and have sausage sandwiches for dinner, depending on how long we was going to stay. But we done it in a boat too. But I would hunt 5 days a week in our blind that we made on a floating blind on a irrigation lake, and then on the weekends I'd go to the lake and the rivers and hunt out of my boat because there was 4 of us in the deal to rent this spot with the blind, and I could hunt 5 days a week. So I've done it through the week on it, and I let them other guys that had to work, because I had a shop. I had a guy that take care of my business for me, and then I'd go on the weekends, and him and I'd go a lot of times because he wanted to hunt. And I did, it didn't cost him nothing to go with me, and him and I take my boat out, and he'd jump out and set decoys and stuff, and I got in the light for him, and I seen a bunch of geese one day, and I said, they're over to the left where them decoys need to be. He didn't know them geese was there, and about 100 of them flew off, and he thought he was dead. I ain't kidding you. He'd never been in a bunch of them like when they come up, and he come running across that water with them waders on. He called me everything in a book you could be called. And we had taken his wife with us that day, and she pretty much thought it was as funny as I did. And he was mad at both of us. But, we had a great time. We killed a bunch of birds. I trained some dogs for people. I trained dogs for myself. And them was the greatest of times to take them people out and let them shoot some birds.
Seeing a sunrise and eating pecan spins.
That's right.
There you go.
Heck
I drink coffee every morning, watch the deer come through my yard every morning.
Where you live again, James? We'll be up there in the morning.
Hey, I got to keep them fed up in case the poop hits the fan. I know I got meat in my yard.
There ain't nothing bad. We had deer meat tonight, deer burgers.
I hear you.
There's nothing better than deer burgers.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
deer meat and chili's pretty good.
Oh yeah. We when we go to Ohio, like me and you were talking loud, my wife makes 10 pounds of deer chili and she'll make chicken and rice and we'll freeze it and it's already cooked. So when we get back in the evenings, all we got to do is just heat it up.
Yep.
Get in
See,
bed.
I make the big deer cube steaks.
Oh,
And
I
then
like
make
that.
some good milk sausage, milk gravy, just some big cat head biscuits. I'm ready to chow, buddy. Y'all making me hungry, and I just got through eating. Hey, let's talk some fishing, my friend.
There you go. Let's do it.
You fishing on Santee Cooper, are you?
Yes, sir.
Mainly
On the upper end.
on the upper end.
Yes, sir.
So
Now, I
that
do a
lower
good
end
bit
can
on the
get
lower
nasty,
end.
can't it?
What's that?
I said that lower end can get nasty on you in a hurry, can't it?
Oh yeah. Well, it can get nasty up in the upper end too. You
Yeah.
wouldn't believe some of them shallow flats. They will get some white caps on them.
Oh yeah. It's crazy how the wind will come across that lake like that.
Oh yeah.
But now, would you rather fish the deeper water or the shallows like you're talking?
Well, back to Uncle Robbie, my uncle that I was talking about, we grew up fishing shallow. That's how I grew up. Now, we would go to the canal and fish down that way, but, there's just a lot of big catfish in shallow water. We fished grass beds growing up, gator grass. We would basically park in the grass bed and throw out huge ocean rods with big live brim on them and wait for them to go down. And then big catfish lay up under them grass beds eating brim and, shiners and everything else. So that's basically how I grew up fishing. And then just kind of started dragging. And a lot of people don't fish up that way, especially dragging the swamp because there's a lot of stumps. But yeah, so basically I'd rather fish shallow.
Right. I'm glad you reaffirmed that. I know somebody was going to do the same thing what we was talking about before the show. I'm not mentioning their names because he's in the tournament and there might be some other people. But now, have you ever floated any live baits or cut baits up around in that area?
Oh yeah. I actually caught my PV blue, the biggest blue I caught that was weighed at 76 pounds. Caught him on about a pound brim live. So we would, just find stumps and stuff like that and just float live brim around. I need to send you a set of my floats and let you try them out and let me know how they work down there around what you're doing. Do it. I'll use them. I'll do a video with them. Okay. But now, when you're out there like that in the channel and you're fishing in them channels, are there specific times that you go to the channel before you head to the shallow waters, or is it something that you've learned over the years? It's this season I need to go here, this season I need to go there. Well, really, to answer that question, I pull the same areas year round. The channel, if I want to catch flatheads on a consistent basis, I'll hit the channel up because it's around 8 to 9 foot. And if that doesn't work, I'll go hit up the river, that runs out and cuts out in front of the state park. Right. I'll hit that up. But 9 times out of 10, if I was to go fishing tomorrow, we were going to go fishing, it would be 90% dragging that shallow water. Just dragging it. And, if that doesn't work, then I'll park up somewhere. It's kind of tough in that shallow water, ain't it? With all the stump fields and stuff down there. You're gonna lose some gear. We've been pretty fortunate. Yeah, I think we've lost 3 rigs in maybe the past 6 trips. What rigs are you using to share with our people watching? All right, so I run anywhere from a 40 to a 48-inch Santee rig. I'm running a Bloodline, the 2.5 to 3 ounce one of their long drift weights. Right. I run 80-pound reaction tackle mainline. I use a 3 ounce or a 3-inch crappie float, or one of the cat and shads from Bloodline, and then a Versa rattle and a 9/0 hook. Okay. Hook. So I run a long leader on them, and I'll usually put the cork or the cat and shad maybe 10 inches from the hook. Right. See, I listened to Doc when he's talking to Lyle about them demon dragons. That's before the cat and shads and other ones come out. Them big blues was crushing his daggum demon dragons. Crushing them. And you know yourself, I've come back and my floats be destroyed. Yep.
So I don't, every one of my daggum rigs, if I use a Demon Dragon or whatever the other ones are, the Dragon Shads or whatever they are, and even with my floats, I put my floats right against my hooks. Right against it. Because everybody says, well, they hitting my floats, they hitting my rigs. I thought, well, if they going after that, I want to make sure my hook's right there next to it.
Yeah. Well, the reason why now, Jerry from Bloodline makes some great dragon weights, and he puts flotation in the top of them.
Right.
So during the day, I don't really want my bait at the surface of the water since I'm fishing 3 foot and 4 foot of water. Since I'm running a 40 to a 48 inch, leader.
Right.
So I'll put it at 10 inches away to kind of get that, kind of let it float middle of the water column. Now at night, if I'm going to drag 3 foot of water, I'll catch the big ones on top water. I'll take that cork and I'll slide it a couple inches from the hook, and it'll float that bait on top of the water. And you think a bass hitting a frog, 5-pound bass hitting a frog makes noise? Try a 40-pound blue hitting a piece of cut bait on top water.
And see, people don't believe that. I have said that so many times that people look at me like I'm bat crap crazy. Hey, biggest one I've ever caught like that was about 30 pounds, and he come to the top, and it was probably a foot of water that he hit that rush, and I was anchored up. I wasn't dragging baits, and son of a gun, I like to come slam out of my daggum seat when it
scares
up.
You. It scares you.
It's like somebody throwed a freaking boulder in the water.
It'll scare you. There's one area we'll drag where a channel cuts in, and it gets 3 foot. Mm-hmm. Letting them hit on top of the water, you're gonna wake up. I mean, you're gonna wake up real quick.
So, do you ever anchor up in them areas, or are you just mainly dragging?
Sometimes in the wintertime I do. If I'm not catching anything dragging, I'll find the areas that are that 1 degree to 2 degree difference in temperature. Because 1 degree to 2 degrees, 1 degree of temperature change in water is like 15 or 20 degrees to a fish.
Yes.
So I will find that area that's a little bit warmer and anchor up in it. That might be 100 yards, from where I want to fish, but I'll find it more often than not. I'll catch fish out of it.
Look at that pretty puppy.
Wow.
We got one laying right here.
Ain't much of a puppy.
Yeah, now see, years ago when I first started going down to Santee, we always put out down at Harry's.
Yep.
And used to take an old guide out down there. His name was Earl, and I cannot remember his name. A little bitty short guy, used to be a game warden down there for like 30 years, have Coke bottle glasses.
No.
And we went out with him for years. And I mean, we had done learn enough about the lake we could go down there, but we enjoyed just going out with him. He's just good people. But there was certain times of the year, and I'm probably going to give his secrets away. So if he's dead now, I'm probably getting ready to be haunted. During the summer, it was probably early summer, when the grasshoppers really hit the fields out there. That was his bait.
Grasshoppers.
He would come and get on the boat with a basket covered, and it had grasshoppers in it. When we come in, I liked him because he'd carry one cooler. Once that cooler was full, then your fishing was over. I mean, you could still fish, but you wasn't keeping any.
Yeah.
He didn't over harvest. I seen the times when we come in night after night or morning after morning, and we would be the only boat out of all them boats down there that would have a cooler full. And we was using grasshoppers.
That reminds me of an old guy at Lake Watery. He would go fish underneath the cormorant trees with a white frog. And he would launch it way up in the air, and it would go flat right on top of the water underneath that tree, and he would catch catfish that way because them cormorants set up in that tree, and when they pooped,
yep,
them catfish, right? Yep. And he used to wear the catfish out up there.
And I've caught catfish on muscadines, wild muscadines.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I've caught so many of them daggum catfish belly be swollen for them to get back to clean them to eat them, and open their gut up and be slam full of daggum muscadines or scuffadines.
You didn't eat them, did you? You didn't eat them, did you?
No. No, but I ate catfish. Been a lot of mornings I've eaten catfish and eggs. But Now, what would you say your favorite bait is down there on Santee? Or is that
Pretty
a
much.
seasonal thing?
Any cut bait I can get my hands on. Right now we've been fishing with cut brim. We'll fish with silver roach during the winter months when it's cold. I'll go buy herring. I don't like the freeze bait. I really don't care what method.
Are they getting on herring right now?
Yeah. You flapper baits. You can catch them on flapper baits and small chunks right now.
Right. Okay.
But it's just cheaper for us to go. I got to drive 30 minutes up the road to get herring because there's really nowhere up on the upper end to get herring on our side, unless I run into town. But yeah, it's cheaper for us to get crickets and go catch some brim. And he likes to catch the brim.
I like brim fish.
Me too.
He'd be fine catching brim the whole day.
Me too.
Because he knows I'm not going to fuss at him if he misses one and catfish with the net. So
now, have you tried any of that daggum? Have you tried free lining out there for them shallow cats?
Now,
I know you have to really be a line watcher because they're liable to swim right back at you with it.
Well, we did a video August 4th when we caught those two giants. We were free lining live brim. We were using planers, pulling off about 15 foot of line, and just basically running 80-pound braid down to maybe a 3/0 swivel with I think it's probably 12-inch 80-pound leader and a 6/0 hook. And we actually, it was crazy because we started doing it along that tree line you see us pulling a lot of our videos, and we heard a splash and a catfish had just rocketed out the water like a tarpon and hit that brim. He was probably about 20 or 25 pounds. And we caught the tail end of him going back in the water if he had come up and hit it. Because it was pulling that brim on the top of the water. It's only 4 foot deep right there. So
right. For some reason my comments are not scanning down. Lyle, you got any questions for him?
In just a second.
Because I'll hammer them with Santee questions. I
hey,
love
it. Hey, I ain't gonna work tomorrow. How many people are we at in here now? Because
87.
87. So if we can get this thing, what do you want to say? I'll let you pick a number.
125 or
We'll say 125. You get it to 125, we'll give away a catfish rod and reel combo.
I hear you. All right, guys, you heard it. Share them up. Let's get the numbers up, guys.
Palmetto Cats. I'm gonna let Palmetto Cats pick the number for that drawing. So, yeah, we'll let Kevin from Palmetto Cats pick that number.
That'd be good.
That way he can't win it.
And if we get to 100, I'll give a set of my bobbers away tonight. How's that?
There you go.
We're getting all kind of stuff to pick from. Mr. Dieter Melhorn's in the house.
You know, we have got a bunch of them, and while we've got a second, let's run through some of these. We got Dieter and Catfish and Crappie and John Patrick III and Troy L. Palmetto Cats, 1 Ton Catfishing, Kentucky Catfishing, Stephen Hare, Chunky Catfishing. By the way, Chunky Cat had nearly 900 people watching him live the night. That's unreal. I'm really proud of El Stan and everything he's accomplished. Fishing with the Squirrel, Mike Turner, Reese Kaysen, Fishing and Stuff. Man, there's another guy we're always glad to have here. My buddy SKS Crappie, Catching Adventures, does a wonderful job with videos. Stan Smith, Fishing with the Squirrel. Ann Lakin has a birthday today. If you haven't wished Ann happy birthday, you need to go ahead and do that. Fishing with the Chad, Betty, Avid, Junior Proctor, Mike Turner, Real Time Catfishing.
He's in the house.
D, yep.
Yep. Chesapeake Bay Catfish, Rex Blocker,
yep. We've seen a lot of the old Amazon Fishing. That's a new one. There's 2 or 3 that I haven't seen. Yeah, Hagen sent me a message a while ago. We're so glad to see Hagen. Had a real good video. His last one, Flint Hills, Muskrat made it in.
1 Ton.
Pardon me?
One Ton Catfish, One Ton Fishing
Yeah,
Club.
I enjoy them guys. They do a really good job.
Yeah. Mike Irvin. Yeah, we got a lot of good channels in here, guys. Remember, you see new faces in here, check them out.
Matthew
Subscribe.
Bateman,
Share the bait.
share it up. Yeah, help these guys. It's not just about a handful of us trying to do videos or shows, live shows a night a week or something like that. It's about helping all of us. And if you enjoy what one person's done, share their stuff so other people can enjoy it too. And that will help them to grow. It helps all of us to grow. I know John, he does a lot of good videos. I enjoy them. But if we'll each one of us take time to share a video that you enjoy that somebody else has done, it will help them. There's Mo Homesteading. But it means the world to everybody that does videos. And like I say, SKS's crappie stuff. I'm not a big crappie fisherman, but the guy is fun to watch. He catches. I started watching him because he caught bluegills, and there's not much I would rather catch other than catfish than bluegills. I love it. He lays out the biggest bluegill and red ears that you ever seen, but he catches some gigantic crappie, and I watch him every time he puts out a new one. And if there's one that pops up on my screen that I don't think I've watched, I'll turn it on, and if I've seen it, I'll watch it again. I enjoy his stuff so much. But, yeah, there's a lot of quality people out here doing some wonderful things. And let's face it, unless you're a bass fisherman, that's about all you see on TV. These guys are a lot more entertaining to me than that. I'd much rather watch John and Mike catch fish, and I wouldn't care what kind it was because it wouldn't likely be bass. Now, I know they do some bass fishing.
I love my bass fishing now.
Yeah, but I don't see much of that. I see a lot of the catfish and brim, as you call them, and stuff like that. And I was happy to know that Mike really likes catching them. Brim.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine. Just fun the whole time for Brim.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, now see, John, I'm in North Carolina, so when I go bass fishing, I'm still fishing for bait.
Thank you guys for the donation. Very much.
That's what my largest flathead and my largest blue actually come on largemouth bass.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Justin, I'm
not going to take out, none of the daggone trophy size. Anything over 1.5 pounds, it goes back in the water. I mean, it does. We can keep 5 as we got to count them on their creel. It can have 2 under. Now, if they under 12 inches, they're going out live. Because I'm telling you, you won't find a more livelier bait than then you stick a hook in the bottom of that tail of that largemouth. He goes crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Spot, the spot, I like spots even better because they're even a stronger fighting fish as far as putting them on a hook.
Yeah.
But I know you can't do that in South Carolina, guys. I'll check your rules and regulations. Make sure you don't get Mr. Game Warden on your tail because they don't look lightly by using the game.
Green bridges.
That's right.
Yes. So you fish mainly the upper lake of Santee. So for the people and stuff that don't know nothing about Santee, tell us a little bit about both of the lakes, if you don't mind.
Basically, the upper lake is way different than the lower lake. The lower lake, which is Moultrie, is cleared out pretty much. The upper lake you got stumps and cypress trees, and if you really want to tear your transom out or your motor off your boat, you will tear it out if you don't know how to run that lake. I've caught a lot of
bank. Got to be proof, won't it? There's all kind of boats sitting on the banks.
Yeah, I've caught a lot of flack. I wouldn't say flack, but I've had people message me like, "Why are you running 30 miles an hour through a cypress swamp?" Well, if you slow down, the foot of your motor is going to hit the stumps because I'm basically up above the stumps. And there's times when we're going fast through the trees and you look by and it's just big stumps going through. You're going past them, but
a lot of them got a V cut the top of them too.
Yeah, because the boats hit them. Yeah. Well, a lot of people's gone through and marked them with poles, but you really want to get scared, go look at that lake when the water's really low, and you'd be like, wow.
I come through that.
Yeah.
2007, I think.
Yeah, 2007. And they don't call it stump hole for no reason.
Right.
But yeah, we pulled that. And that's where those big catfish lay. They lay under those logs beside them stumps in the holes.
Thank you, Ray.
So you really depend a lot on your side scan, don't you? On your depth finder?
This year's the first year I have ever had side scan. In the past, we basically just relied off GPS, speed.
What made you choose that area, though? Because all the wise tales say you got to go to deep water, you got to fish in deep holes. What made you choose to start fishing those shallow, stumpy waters?
Growing up, Uncle Robbie. Growing up, and just JW. My great granddaddy John. He was actually one of the first people to live on the lake. So he had his hand in naming a bunch of spots. He ended up drowning in front of his place in 71 in front of Stump Hole. And that's the man I was named after, but just passed down from family, generation after generation of fishing those swamps for big catfish and bass and stuff. So that's how we done it.
Jerry Roddy says you have been on fire.
Appreciate that, Mr. Jerry. Appreciate that.
I want to thank that. I've seen some people donating some money, Lyle. I think we need to say a thank you to them.
Yes, sir. I've been trying to do that, and we do thank you guys ever so much for that. It means the world to us. It really does. David Martin's in the house. Jerry Drawdy, Buckeye Catfishing. I have a question in chat about your pontoon boat.
Yeah, I saw Kevin posted that. So if you follow my channel, I got a pontoon boat. Gosh, what was it? April? May? Probably May. And bought it, got 3 kids and a wife, and the boat that you mainly see me pull out of 16 feet. And that's not a fun trip. Have 3 kids and a wife in that boat and be crowded. So bought a pontoon and wanted to get it redone in a place out of Sumter called Toon Time LLC. They look them up. They do a great job. Ryan Stewart's awesome. He does an amazing job at redoing pontoons, and he's agreed to redo my whole boat. So it's basically going to be brand new floor, brand new vinyl flooring, fencing, having a iPilot put on it, 70-pound iPilot. It's all new furniture. It's pretty much going to be a brand new boat when I get it back. It'll probably be about another 4 or 5 weeks before you see it on the channel, though.
Hey, I need to get your number after the show and talk to you about that, because I've got one I'm redoing and actually going to be adding a third tune to it.
Yep.
And so, I'm probably going to have to get somebody to build me a transom, to go on that third tune.
One of the deals is that of course, it's kind of like advertising for him, especially on the channel. So I'll be shooting a video, kind of showcasing what the boat looked like before. And he's sending me pictures every day as we go along. I mean, of the progress of it. And then I'm going to have I'm not big on drone footage. I'm just not, I'd rather get to fishing instead of doing all that mess. But I'm going to have one of my buddies that has a drone, and we're going to do an awesome video at the end. Now, he's putting lights in this thing, rod holder lights, cup holder lights. So it's going to be well decked out when we get it back.
Now, I tell you what, you do a video. If you have any video and pictures of the teardown,
that's what he's sending me.
Do a video on the teardown. You will be amazed how many views you will get on that. And then the putting of the boat back together and the finished product, you will be amazed at the views that you will get on there. Make sure you put the right name on it, though, to kind of bring people in, like the name of what type of pontoon it is and stuff like that. That'll even narrow the field down and really bring the people into it. But I'd love to see that.
Now the colors of the boat, before anybody that's watched the video of my pontoon or seen it on the channel, it was blue carpet. The sides were white. It's basically red, white, and blue. But the new colors are going to be light gray vinyl flooring, dark charcoal on the sides, of course, I told Ryan he can put his logo on the side of it, and Bloodline's going to be on it. And then one of my other sponsors is going to go through and put some decals as well on it. He's doing a huge floor decal in the middle for One Over Outdoors, the new logo I have. He's going to have it done in the middle, and it's going to be electric blue and black to match the dark charcoal. So it's going to look
That'd be pretty cool looking.
Yeah, so it should look pretty good.
You might need you one of them stickers to go on the side of it somewhere.
Hey, send me anybody wants to send me some stickers. I'll put them on the book. If you want to send me some stickers, I'll put them on the book. That way your channel or whoever you are can get seen in my videos. So.
That's nice. Here's a really nice gesture. Flint Hills Catfishing says, just dropped you a sub, John. Can't wait to check out your channel. That's
appreciate that.
Flint Hills got a really good channel.
I really appreciate that.
He fishes out of a pontoon, one of them little kayaks,
right? Yeah, I've watched some of his videos. Yeah,
I have. So that's really nice. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate that, man.
Yeah. Squirrel said Patriot American Pontoon in Manning, South Carolina will build a third tune with a transit.
Yep.
So I've already got the third tune. I bought my third tune. It was barely used a month before the guy put a little ding in it and wanted it changed out. And it's got the big ski locker in the middle of it and all. It's going to be a killer live well in the middle of it. And but it did not have the transit, So, my boat ain't but 21 foot, but it's going to be pushed by a 150 Yamaha.
It ought to send it.
Yeah, it should. But now I notice a lot of people on Santee do fish out of pontoons. Do you think it's because of convenience and being able to move around, or do you think that gives you a better fishing platform on that type of water?
Well, to be honest with you, you see pontoons up on the upper lake, especially when I take mine out, and you'll see them out towards the dam and 95 and stuff like that. And you really see them down on the lower lake as well. But I think it has to do with the water being such a large lake as it is. Pontoons handle rough water very well, and not saying you can't fish really good out of the center console, but a pontoon just got a lot of room in it. And, all the guides, 99% of the guides run pontoons down there as well. So it's just an easier setup and it's cheaper. I mean, you can buy a $3,000 pontoon, put $5,000 in it, and
heck of a boat.
Exactly.
Heck of a boat. Now, do you got an enclosure for yours for wintertime fishing and stuff?
I will have one because we plan on. That's the thing. I break everything down in the season. So trying to catfish now and deer season, then we got duck season. But at the end of duck season, we'll probably be doing some winter catfishing, getting back into it. We used to do a bunch of it, but you'll see more of it on the channel.
Now, do you think? I know y'all catch good fish year round, but seems like to me the wintertime waters, them cold waters, it seems like you start catching them. You start seeing more of the big blues showing up that people love. I don't know if it's just people show them more in the wintertime on their videos or if it's actually something. We notice that we do better when the water starts getting cold as far as the big blues. What do you think?
I think a lot of that has to do with the shad die-off. There's a huge shad die-off in the winter, and those blues can just sit there in that deeper water, plus the thermocline.
Right.
To me, there's two thermoclines. There's the one you see on your graph, and then there's an invisible thermocline that, heck, you don't see, but why is my live bait dying? So that lets me know I need to get the heck out of deep water. But to be honest with you, my largest catfish and some of the largest ones I've caught have been in that 4 or 5 foot of water in 100 degrees. And I read an article years ago about why it is. Up on the upper lake and a lot of, river style lakes, that water is not as clear. So that sun really can't penetrate that water as well.
Right.
And so it kind of forms like shade. So yeah, it's hot for us, but we've been pulling the water's 4 foot and it's 81 degrees and the river's 84 degrees. So
it's a mile.
Yeah. So there's a 3 degree difference in the river water, which is 20 feet deep, and the shallow water, and it's 3 degrees cool. So it's kind of a crazy thing to think about, but.
Well, I seen, last year during Jeff Manning's tournament, the Grand Slam, one was cat and then was fishing down there next to the hot hole in Lake Wiley. Now, don't get me wrong, the hot hole wasn't running, so that wasn't a contributing factor to the water temperature. But that water temperature was up around 100 degrees, and they was catching fish. But we was fishing in cooler water, which I would have thought would have been more of attractive than that 100-degree water. And the fish was not really biting. We was, they just wasn't really biting. But in that hot water, they caught a good number of fish. They didn't win the tournament, but they caught numbers. So I always wondered, you would think that hotter water wouldn't hold good oxygen. But do you think that the catfish can deal with that lower oxygen levels, or why would they be in such a hot water?
It's kind of like what we're doing. It don't really make sense. It's kind of backwards from what you read about and you watch on TV. It doesn't really make sense us fishing in 100 degrees, catching 40s and 50s in 3 foot of water. In the middle of the day.
Right.
That should be a nighttime thing. But that really doesn't make sense. Catfish are opportunistic, so they're gonna go where the bait is. And yeah, that's crazy right there. 100-degree water.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was bumping between 97 and 100. I think Justin said one time he's seen 100, and Richard was fishing, a couple hundred yards away from him in the same water, and he was catching flatheads and stuff too. Actually, he caught one of the biggest flatheads of the tournament. But I mean, go figure. Just when you think you got them figured out, Lyle, you don't really have them figured out, do you?
Exactly
right.
So,
exactly right.
I see Justin Fishing Fetish is back in here. Good to see you in here, my friend.
Yes, it is. I seen you on another show the other night. I was glad to see it.
Now, since you was talking about your bass fishing, how many of them old catfish have you caught down there on artificial bait?
Golly. Actually, I think it was last year. I was catching them on spinner baits, and it was kind of ticking me off because you catch a 10-pound blue on a spinner bait, you don't have a spinner bait anymore. It's a tangled mess.
Yep.
So I done thought I latched in a 15-pound largemouth, ends up being a blue cat. So especially with a double hook, trailer hook, and he had both of them buried deep too. But I said,
"Oh yeah,
we'll catch them rubber worm fishing."
Yeah,
but yeah, I love my bass fishing. I like night bass fishing more than anything. Nobody's especially just hitting them lights up. That's when I catch a lot of big bass.
Now, when he's bass fishing, Mike, are you catching brim or do you bass fish too?
No, he don't go at night. He sleeps in the boat if he's going bass fishing with me at night.
Man, the more I hear about him, the better I'm liking it.
Well, I used to bass fish tournaments, and I used to talk him into going with me. And about 2 or 3 hours in, he just puts the rod down and sits down.
Nah,
because we would fish we would fish night bass tournaments, and they would run from 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. He said, "I can't do that."
No,
he didn't have to come out here,
I always tell Cindy, I said, if I fall asleep, you're going to have to stay awake and watch the rods, because if I fall asleep, I'm not going to wake up for a while. And the older I get, the more sleep I require.
I didn't do much bass fishing this year. I really wanted to, I'm only a little over a year, I guess almost a year and a half into this thing. I wanted to really kind of cement myself with the catfishing as well, try to boost that a little bit more. And you'll see more bass fishing next year and some more crappie fishing. I think I had the COVID. I had planned on doing 10 crappie videos. I ended up doing 2 this year, but I came down with a sinusitis infection around the time COVID was. So.
Well, you gained some subscribers tonight. I've been watching people ask about it, and I posted it up a couple of your.
I appreciate that.
Up, and everybody helps, and you gained a few. Don't know how many, but there's been some, and we're glad that that coming on here got you a couple extra.
I want to give away a rod and reel.
While we're talking, go ahead and tell them how they can find you on all social medias.
All right. So not only am I on YouTube, One Over Outdoors, but if you go on the Pride Outdoor Network, you can go on Amazon Fire Stick, Roku. You can look it up on your computer. You can go on it on Facebook, Pride Outdoor Network. And then I'm also on the Outdoor Adventure channel as well, which is also on Amazon Fire Stick, Roku. Jim Carr is great to work with. I don't know if you know who Jim Carr is.
No,
I've heard the name.
Yeah, Carolina Outdoor Adventure Channel. He does a great job. He had contacted me about 2 months in of doing my channel and wanted me to, put some content on there as well. So, you can look me up on obviously Facebook and Instagram. So, and all if you go to my channel in the About section, all the links to my social media platforms on there as well. So.
very nice.
Catfish Carl just dropped in.
Catfish
Carl.
Carl has been on some huge fish as of late.
Yep.
And very happy for Carl. He moved to where he lives now to specifically go after giants. And to be quite honest, it didn't take him long to figure them out. And what was it last week? He put an 80 and a 92 or something in the boat in one.
And he just put an 88 in the boat.
Yeah, he's doing really good.
While he's listening live, we might have to tell him he's got my number. Carl, give me a call. We need to set him up for a future show to talk about his progression to where he was at to where he is now.
Yeah,
he's a vet. And he's a veteran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Obviously, thank you for your service, Combat Carl.
I don't know if he's got the equipment or not, but we would figure out how he's got a phone. If he's now, I agree that with people that tell me all cell phones are not the same, and if you run low on signal, it kind of dampers you. But if you've got a phone, you can do a show with Catfish Weekly. Now, if you have a home computer with
internet,
with good strong internet and a video camera, it's better. But we'll work with you, and Carl.
Yeah.
Carl, you need to work with us. You've been here.
John, had they put up any more cell towers down there? I get tired of going to Santee and your phone will go dead without even using it.
Man, you don't know how many times I want to go live when we're pulling them big 40-plus pound fish in. I mean, I talk to him all the time. We did a live video with Palmetto Cats. If y'all haven't done, subscribe to Palmetto Cats. Kevin's a great guy. But we did a live video and we're wearing them out. I mean, on that live video. And it was supposed to be on YouTube, but we ended up having to do it on Facebook platform. But it was crazy because Pride Outdoor picked it up. We had 4,500 people watching on it, on top of what we had watching on Facebook. But we've actually got LTE service where we've been pulling those big ones in. So I think it's about time to treat the old One Over fans a live stream of them big old swamp catfish. I think it's about time for that.
See, what was been fishing down there close to where you at Wednesday night, and where's it be a good spot? He's wanting me to try to drop in. He's wanting to do a drop in on my show.
Okay.
Where's a good spot that he might get a halfway decent signal that he could do that?
Where's he at?
I think they're putting out at Black's.
Oh man. I think I had LTE up by Harry's. There was LTE up because that's where we were shooting that live stream that night with Palmetto Cats.
Down around Harry's?
Yeah, they were pulling the water really bad. And so what I did was I kind of fished off to the side out one of them secondary channels. Them catfish kind of want to get a break out of that fast moving water. And so that's, we set up right there and we had LTE signal. So you could probably tell them to go up near Harry's around the rock, those rock markers.
Yeah.
Right up in there.
Dude says Combat Carl has a skipjack in his arms right now and he's still fishing. They must be fishing pretty close together.
No doubt.
Yeah, knowing Dieter, he probably talked him into taking him.
Yeah. I met caught a nice flathead that night. I think it was like 25 or 26 pounds. I can't remember how big it was.
Yeah, it was very nice.
We opened the pecan.
So, I mean, do you do better on your blues or your flatheads up in that stumpy ponds?
Well, you got one. There's a flathead right there. I caught in the swamp, and I think he was 35 pounds. And I caught him in 3 foot of water. It's a funny story. The only reason that's a reproduction mount. But I caught him. What hurricane was that? Was it Floyd?
I think so.
I think it was Hurricane Floyd, and it hit on a Sunday. And so my mom said, you better be in church. But I hooked the boat up and went fishing. I caught 3 brim, because the water was orange. And so I went in there and parked at that tree line. The first brim I threw out, I flung it off the hook. So I'm down to 2.
Oh.
So I throw out 1 brim and I throw out the other brim. That flathead slams the first brim, and I get him in, and the brim's still in his mouth. So I get it back out. I throw it back out there. I catch one 55 pounds, a big blue, and then catch another one in the 30s. Off of 2 brim.
That storm.
Wow.
There you go.
Back home and got in trouble because I didn't go to church.
Well, I understand how moms are.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just got to understand when the fish are biting.
Exactly. Well, I don't think she understood that.
Well, see, to me,
coming from a guy that my mother was a Baptist preacher's daughter.
Oh,
so
no.
I know what you're talking about, dude.
Yeah. Mine played the piano at the church, so she would give me the evil look as she's playing. I don't know how you do that, but
man, oh man.
But to me, there's no other place than I feel closer to God than on the water.
Absolutely.
That's right.
In fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, really, he's blessing you every day. So,
or a deer stand.
Do it.
Yeah.
Pretty good too, yeah.
You got that hour before it gets daylight where you can just sit there and think.
Anything could be walking in them woods.
And you see that sun starting to rise, and it really makes you feel how small you really are in this universe, don't it?
Yeah.
And, But so, do you fish much on that lower lake, or you just prefer the upper lake?
No, we fished a good bit this year on the lower lake. There's a couple in the canal.
Right.
Moultrie, we fished a good bit on Moultrie, but now where I live in Columbia, so I'm about 35 minutes from the upper end, Low Falls, where I put in at. The canal's like an hour and a half from me.
Right.
So it's a lot closer to go to Low Falls. But yeah, I like fishing down at the canal, down at the Santee Dam and stuff like that.
That canal can get kind of daggum busy.
Oh no. That's why we don't like going down there that much.
It can get pretty busy.
Yeah.
Now, when you fish in that canal, are y'all anchoring up when they're pulling water, or you just you're still trying to drag baits?
Well, actually, what we do is if we don't anchor up, we head to the shallow flats and those coves and we drag baits. I think we put 45 in the boat on video because they were pulling the water really fast, and them big catfish ain't gonna stick in that. They gonna sit up on them muscle bars and gorge themselves. So
yeah,
we just sat there and pulled. I think he hit in 6 foot of water.
See, I always like going and we put out down there at Harry's. I always like going back around to the right down there in that big stump field.
Yeah.
And we pulled some good flatheads out of there. Pulled some big old brim out of that daggum area too, but there's some big flatheads up in there. Bad thing about it, you'll get into some good sized gar down there too.
Yeah. That's good eating.
We have Just Max says, what's your biggest off the boat?
Biggest flathead or blue?
Didn't discriminate.
All right, so my biggest flathead was 63 pounds.
Giant.
Now, that wasn't the biggest flathead I caught. I'll let him tell the biggest one I caught because it was probably a state record.
He called me one night, and it was late. He was driving a Ford pickup. What?
I think it was a Dodge.
Dodge.
It was a full size truck.
He had caught this flathead, and it was the whole length of the tailgate. And he called another friend of ours, and he came down. It was probably what 12:30 or 1 in the morning, and I wish we'd taken some pictures of it or weighed the fish.
We thought he got pictures of it, but
it's huge, big old flathead.
Caught him at the channel at Low Falls. We catch a lot of big flatheads. They'll come off of that river into that channel, heading those flats we pull, and they'll just go down that dot line, sucking in bait until they get out there that shallow water. But my biggest blue was 76 pounds. Now, the biggest blue I ever caught, I couldn't get it in the boat because I had a little brim net. But he laid up on the side. He was probably say 90s. I would say 90s. He only had like 2 whiskers left. He was one eye. He was kind of weird looking. So I didn't even bother trying to get him in the boat.
That's them rough nights you spent at the bars when he rolled up.
He had some issues going on. So.
Them lakes, people don't realize that Santee had got in pretty rough shape with all the commercial fishing.
Yep.
And when they changed up some of the regulations, it's really starting to make a good comeback, I think. And from what I've understood from other fishermen and guides that fish down on that water, that lake is really starting to make a good comeback. What do you think?
Growing up, there was so much gator grass, and it just seemed. I remember it was one Wednesday we went. My Uncle Robbie caught a 60-pound blue and 2 blues in the 40s, and that was off of a small grass bed the size of a dining room table. And it just seemed when they put the carp in there, those big grass carp, they just wiped the grass out. And I remember for years, it was hard to catch brim, and the brim you caught were just small. But it seems now it's really starting to get back like it used to.
Right. Now, you ever caught any of them grass carp?
Yeah, on a cricket. And I'll tell you, them suckers fight, Bo.
That's a torpedo right there, son.
that bass, I guess it was the one right there. That's 10 pounds. And that one's right at 10 pounds. But that bass I caught right there, I caught it in a 6-pounder. And I threw that chatterbait out, and I done snagged one of them grass carp on the back. I told Robbie, I said, "Oh, I got the world record on here." Ended up being the grass carp, and stripped the Black Max reel out and everything. But they pull. They really do pull. There's no lie about that.
Yeah, it's like hooking onto a daggone silver torpedo.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they fun. Now, is it legal for you to catch them and use them as bait?
I don't think so. People go down there and shoot them with the bow, and I don't know if it's legal to keep them or kill them or not.
I know it wasn't at one time, because they put them there for a reason. Because at one time it was bad, man. That lake was bad with the grasses
I got to laugh at that comment. Somebody said, Dad looks like the first sergeant in the Marines with your haircut.
Oh, yeah. People mistake, get me mixed up with Sergeant Carter and Gomer Pyle.
Yeah. I don't think they allow this right here.
Remember that sergeant. That was a long time ago.
Yes, sir. Yep. So how many we up to, Lyle?
I'm showing 94.
I tell you what, we get it to 100, we'll give away a rod and reel.
I seen 96 a while ago, but the numbers on my StreamYard and the numbers on YouTube are different. So,
right, come on, guys, share it up. We ain't got much longer.
100, we give away this rod and reel.
Yeah.
If you have any more questions for John or Mike, now's the time to get them out here. They catch some giant fish, and they deer hunt and every duck hunt and everything.
Well, Dad don't deer hunt.
He don't
deer watches.
He deer watches.
Yeah, I used to take him deer hunting. And I'd be like, "You see?" And he said, "Yep, there's about 7 out there." What'd you do? Just watch them. That's not the whole point, Bo. You got to. He's not a deer hunter. Now he will kill a duck. He loves shooting some ducks, but he ain't gonna kill a deer.
Kevin says, ask him about his rod holders.
Yep, I use. There you go. Tommy Hill's wire form rod holders. I'm telling you, it's about. You ever heard of them?
About them. I have. I've heard some good things.
Oh my goodness. I think 6 for $48, and they're stainless, 1/2 inch, and they're one piece. And I contacted him. I was looking at getting rod holders for my boat, new rod holders and rod holders for the pontoon. And he sent me some, and he's been a great guy to deal with. He sent me rod holders for the pontoon, sent me rod holders for my boat. And I trust them 100% on those big Santee cats. I mean, I haven't had one break or nothing.
Are they different angles, or are they multi-angle rod holders, or what?
He does multi-angle, 30 degree, 0 degree, 5 degree, 45. Just y'all need to look up Hills wire form rod holders. He sells them off of eBay. He's a great guy to deal with. And if you need something made, he can make it. He makes, like, my Triton boat has those 45 degree T-tracks. Yeah. And he makes about the best bracket for a rod holder, because I don't like drilling holes in my boat. Right. So he makes about the best bracket for that rod holder. So it runs along that T-track. He does a 45 and a 90 degree. And they're like $250 for the little bracket.
I have a couple more questions in here. Fish Squirrel says, what's your favorite bait to use on Santee?
Any type of cut bait, whether it's herring, shad, perch, brim, silver roach, any type of cut bait, fresh cut bait.
Fresh cut bait. Okay. Now, Stan Smith put this in here, and I found it quite interesting. He said, my question for John's dad is, how proud were you when John started taking the lead role? One of the proudest days of my life is when my son started taking over for me and doing better than I did.
Oh, I tell you, I'll be honest with you. Coming up, I had two brothers that were probably better. No doubt, they were better fishermen than I was. And I know I grew up. I had both sets of grandparents had places. One at Stumphole Landing and one at what's now Poplar Creek. And I had the opportunity. I've probably been going out there for 5 years fishing those lakes, especially the upper lake, Lake Marion. But John's always had an act, and I guess the good Lord knew what we were doing when we named them after my grandfather, who fished for a living down at Santee. But when John was little, he'd get the old radio flyer wagon out after a storm, an old tire pump. He'd set that tire pump at the back of that radio flyer, and he'd had his Snoopy rod or something. He would be out there like he's casting in a mud puddle. And so it just progressed. Me and my brother, John, and my nephew would go to Santee and catch big catfish and catch brim. But John could, a mud puddle out in front of a convenience store, John could catch a fish. No doubt about it. He could. He's some people's got it, some don't. And
I agree.
He's just got the ability. It's like a sense, a sixth sense for him.
I'm gonna pay him $40 for that now.
Creole Catfish.
He earned his money.
Creole Catfish, he said, John, what's the main thing you think people do wrong when specifically targeting big fish?
Assuming they're always going to be where all the biologists tell you they're going to be. Because a catfish is kind of like us. I mean, they all have different brains, and they're opportunistic feeders. They're going to go where it's easy to eat and easy to relax. And, you know, with Santee, there's a lot of mussel bars, and in a lot of lakes, there's a lot of mussel bars. They're not going to sit there and chase a gizzard shad. They're going to sit there and pile up on them protein-filled mussel bars. And a lot of them catfish we catch, they jingle like chains with all them shells that are in them.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's three things. They got to eat, they got to reproduce, and they got to find shelter. But when they get over 50 pounds, they don't worry about shelter. They just lay anywhere they get. So shelter changes out for pooping. You got to eat, reproduce, and poop.
Yep.
So that's it. If you put bait in their face, pretty much they're going to eat it.
Exactly. They're opportunistic.
Betty Jean Cross says, John, if you had to choose between hunting and fishing, which would it be?
Wow.
Great question.
Put him on the spot there.
I'm going to say hunting.
I kind of thought you would.
Yeah.
I kind of thought you
As
would.
much as I like catching big fish and stuff, there's something about just grabbing my bow and getting out in the woods before dawn and getting in a stand and just sitting there and collecting myself. Because with everything going in the world, it's nice to just get away and just be quiet and sit there and just reflect on my life and how blessed I am, to have my health and my dad and my wife and kids. And so I'm going to say hunting.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody wanted to know what was your biggest channel cat.
Oh, I live in South Carolina, probably like 5 or 6 pounds. But that's
But
bait.
the world record come out of the Santee.
Yep.
But that was
58 pounds, wasn't it?
Years
a
ago.
long
58.
time ago.
Years ago.
Yep.
58 pounds.
Kevin had a picture of a bunch of channels the other day, and they were around that 1 pound. I'm like, clip them fins off and put a hook in his back. That's bait right there, buddy. You put that in a hole.
A lot of people don't want or can't even think about putting a hook in a catfish for bait. We got an old man that fishes down there at used to be the old hungry fisherman down at Busted Board Bridge on Wiley. He'll catch them little channel casts, but now he lets them rot. And I thought he ain't gonna catch nothing but channel casts with them. No, he's catching 40, 50, 60, and 70 pound blues on rotten catfish for bait. I'm talking about he opens that bucket and you'll see the crowd go. They scatter. But he catches fish with that thing. I don't.
Wow.
So go figure. Just when you think they would, everybody's like, oh, you got to use this fresh bait. Boom, he's catching them on rotten stuff. Now, he's an old veteran too. And he just sits down there and enjoys his day watching the water. And if the rods hit, they hit. If they don't, they don't.
Right.
Do you still enjoy that, whether you get a hit or not? Just being on the water?
Oh, I do.
I don't know. That'll tell you I'm pretty uptight. Because I only, we had talked before the show started.
James.
Okay.
But I only fish 1 day a week. I don't get to go out. I at the beginning of the YouTube channel, I did fish more than 1 day a week, but I really cut it back to just 1 day a week. So, like we had talked, I prefer quality over quantity. I'd rather put out one really good video than, a bunch throughout the week that just aren't that great. But, we've been really fortunate just about every trip to catch a monster,
Good.
some kind of big catfish. And, so I think, and I always tell him, like, I base off every trip off if we had to survive off what we caught, will we survive? So I think that kind of drives me to make it happen. And I think a lot of people go out there with, specific, okay, I'm going to fish like this, I'm going to do it, and then they don't catch nothing. But, you got to change things up. If you're an hour and a half in and it's not working, you need to change something, plan B fast.
Yeah. And especially like these people that tournament fish, you better not keep your dadgum blinders on.
No.
You keep your blinders on and you're going home hungry and broke. I like thinking outside the box. Betty Jean said we got 98 people in here, guys.
2 more and y'all
Two
get
more,
a
guys.
brand new catfish combo.
And a set of bobbers to go with it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Let's get them up there, folks. Share it out a few more times. We're really, really close. And
Everything good, Lyle?
What's that?
Everything good?
Yeah, I was just getting a call from my sister. She doesn't call very often, so I took the phone in. Cindy's going to call her back and see what's going on. I would think since she sat here and watched me do shows that she would remember that once every Monday night we do this. But then again, she's 10 years older than me. And with the way these guys talk, Dockery thinks I'm older than Christ himself. So I'm pretty sure that I'm not, but I worry about her when she calls. Thank you, Amazon Fishing. We appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Old David Martin hit me on here calling me old. He said when I said something about the hungry fisherman, he said only the old fishermen remember that as the hungry fisherman being down there because that restaurant has been after the Hungry Fisherman, I think 2 or 3 other restaurants, and they've been there for a long time. So most people don't realize it used to be the Hungry Fisherman. I still got a set of cups from that place.
Somebody said you sat behind Jesus in 3rd grade, Lyle.
Oh, thank you, JP3. We appreciate
That's
it
good.
so much.
That's good.
I do have a question for you that's off the beaten path a little.
Yep. Let's do it.
I go fishing. We take plenty of snacks for the old man to eat. So if you guys go fishing, do you eat on the boat? And if you do, what do you take?
He'll answer that one. He needs to answer that one.
Part of the fun of the trip is preparing, and I always carry the snacks. Of course, we got pecan swirls, pecan spins, beanie weenies. We like beanie weenies.
Now, wait a minute. We didn't eat any beanie weenies after this last video, and his fish pooped all in the boat.
And I'm glad we did.
There was no beanie weenies. Ain't.
But I was going to bring bananas this past time, but John said
That's taboo, man.
That's taboo. Yeah, you can't do that.
He's never heard of that.
Yeah.
There's been people killed over that before.
But you know what's crazy? It ain't got nothing to do with fishing. It had something to do with the mariners many years ago carrying a load of bananas to America, and they was full of spiders. And when they slept that night, the spiders killed everybody, and that's where the banana thing come from.
So you finally read that, didn't you?
Well, I can bring bananas in as long as they don't have spiders in them.
Now, you ain't one of the people that like sardines. Now, my father would bring cans of sardines and
I
crackers.
love sardines.
Oh, my God.
I love sardines, buddy.
No sardines, but I like Nicot crackers. Malt, any of those Lance products will carry those.
I like them too, yeah.
And
I like Vienna sausages, smoke flavor.
Oh yeah.
And we
set them up in the dash, and the sun shining through on them, and through that glass, and they get nice and toasty. And you pull them out and drain the juice out of them. You start picking them out of there, shed scales and all. It don't matter.
Jeff Barker said mustard sardines. Yes, sir. I love mustard sardines, buddy.
Now let me tell you, when you're down south, we fry just dang near everything, don't we, John?
Oh yeah.
We fry everything. Well, let me tell you, deep fry you some of them little Vienna sausages. Roll them up in some house altry. Drop them rascals in some deep grease. Yeah, that about make you slap your mama.
My buddy takes spam, wraps it in bacon with barbecue sauce, and grills it.
Yes,
wow.
Yes.
Yeah, now that's a delicacy there, buddy.
Yeah.
We're at 103 right now. It said rod and bobber time.
Heck yeah. Let me run through a couple of questions first.
Yep.
Before I forget them. I may have already lost them, but I'm going to try them.
Let's see. Barbecue pork rings. Sorry.
Let's see. Well, I missed them.
I'm trying to find them too, love.
I seen certain ones. John Patrick says that Jesus behind me in the 3rd grade.
That's good. That's a good one.
That is. Oh, here it is. Kevin at Palmetto Cat says he thinks it would be interesting if you told everyone what kind of cameras you use to film with.
All right. So when I started my channel, I didn't want to go out and spend a lot of money and nothing just kind of work out because I didn't know how to edit videos. I'm not computer tech savvy. And so I went and bought these Akasa cameras, and they're like $70 off of Amazon. But that's pretty much that in my phone. I have a Galaxy, I think it's a Note 10 or S10. But I do a lot of filming on my phone, and then a lot of filming on those little cameras. But my first video I did was a crappie fishing video, and it took me 6 hours to edit it. And I'm like, man, there's got to be a better way to do this. So I finally got it down now. I can have a 20-minute video done in probably about 45 minutes.
What
editing.
program you're using, your editing program?
Filmora 9.
Okay.
So
I'm looking to change. You've been using that iMovie, but I got a Dell computer, and you can't use iMovie on the Dell computer, so I need to find one that's kind of comparable to that, because I'm like you, I'm not tech savvy, and when it comes to trying to change up stuff like that, it's a whole new process. And do you like that Filmora 9?
Oh, I love now. It only runs good on a fast computer. Like I said, when I started this, I kind of cheaped out. I bought a cheap Acer, and it ran like mess. But I spent some money on the laptop we're on now. Finally saw that the channel's starting to do something, and maybe can hopefully go somewhere at some point. So I spent some money, bought a good laptop, and it really does cut down. And the program runs great. I mean, it really does. I think it's $100 a year.
I got the Dell 17, the 2-in-1. You can use it like a tablet, or it's got the touch screen. It's got the largest gaming cards you can get in the laptop, so it should be plenty of fast to run that program. Yeah, it's not that old a computer.
This is an HP. I think it's 18 or something like that, and it's got one terabyte, and it's fast. I don't know what all the numbers are.
I don't either. I don't have a clue. Somebody said pickled eggs. Yeah, I like me some pickled eggs.
Don't eat them with duck waders on, Lyle.
I don't do pickled eggs.
Nah, don't eat them with waders on. They'll be there when you take off.
One night, and we was a lot younger. They was trying to get everybody to eat them things. I said, no. Next thing you know, they're throwing them at people. My God, them suckers stunk. Woo-wee. If they smell
the eggs stink.
After
you think they, that's what I was getting ready to say. You think them eggs stink? Wait till the aftermath hits.
Cindy just posted 106.
All right, so Palmetto Cats, so everybody needs to post a number, and I'm gonna let Palmetto Cats pick the number.
Between what?
I guess we'll do 1 and 200.
1 and 200. There you go. And start putting your numbers in now. And when John says or Mike says it's time to quit, then that'll be the time you quit. But until they say that, you only get one number. You can't post 4 or 5 numbers, just one.
All right. So Kevin said that he's going to message. Okay. All right. I got the number.
All right. The number starting with Junior Proctor. That was the first number out.
There's a lot of them. I'm going to try to go back, and some of them didn't. Gosh, it's fast.
Yeah.
Some of them didn't.
Jesus.
Somebody must have approved them, because I couldn't go back and approve the ones that didn't. Bless you guys for doing that. That's why we have Cindy and several other people do. James and several guys do.
They've been waiting on that thing.
Yeah, man. Had them numbers all picked out, didn't they?
So has everybody got their number in?
Has it slowed down any?
I think it's stopped. No, it's not. It hasn't stopped.
No, it's the last one I see is 150.
Yeah, Catfish Corner.
Yeah. Another new name. Thank you for joining the stream tonight, Catfish Corner. We appreciate it very much.
So far, that's the last number I'm seeing, Lyle.
All right, so Kevin texted me the winner, and it's John Patrick 3.
JP3, lucky man.
JP3, you have won a Piscafun Chaos 50 and a catfish rod. So I need you to email me your information at oneoveroutdoors@gmail.com. So
and John Patrick sent it to James Smith on Messenger, and I'll send you a set of bobbers to go with that rod and reel combo.
So congratulations.
Deal. And all you had to do to win that stuff was watch Catfish Weekly.
Exactly.
Just put up with a little bit of the old guy that sat behind Jesus in 3rd grade.
Oh, the number was 89, by the way. The number was 89.
Congratulations, John.
Heck yeah, man.
John's been in our shows for quite a while, though, Lyle, hasn't he?
John's been watching our shows for I can't tell you how long. He's won a time or two with us and other shows. but he watches a lot of other shows too. It's not just Catfish Weekly. And him and Maurice and Michael Murillo and several of these guys follow a bunch of us catfishing shows around. We appreciate it very much. It's kind of like the D and Fishing with the Shad, Chad and Betty and her husband, Brandon, Stan Smith, LG Bass. There's a lot of these guys that watch shows, if not every night, nearly every night. We're so glad that you stepped in tonight to join us with Mike and John, Jeffcoat. These guys are great guests to have on our show, and we appreciate everything they do as far as recording videos and sharing their experiences with us. So if I know he got a bunch of subscribers, but just if you wouldn't mind helping them out, go over and subscribe and watch their videos. They do a lot of catfishing videos. They do a lot of bass and crappie and bluegill stuff. And John told me earlier before the show started that he does a lot of hunting, but he's not ever shared any of that, but he thinks he's going to this year. And I find that extremely interesting because I haven't hunted in 4 or 5 years, and I won't be able to hunt this year after I have surgery on my shoulder. So it gives me a way to go with you, John. Mm-hmm. So that makes it
I appreciate fun. That.
And, I'll be watching you. And these other guys will be too, because most guys that fish, they hunt something.
Hey, can you post my email for JP3, oneoveroutdoors@gmail.com? He had asked in there about posting it so he can send me his info. Or if he wants to just message you on Messenger and you send me his info.
At Gmail?
Yep, at gmail.com. James, I seen somebody post about fishing with chicken and Kool-Aid. That's like drinking unsweeted tea and sugar in your grits to me. That don't cut it.
Nope. Gotta have my sweet tea, and you gotta have the salt and pepper and butter in my grits.
And some eggs and some cheese, bro.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I'm one of them people, like, if I make up biscuits and gravy and all that, I'm one of them people, I tear it all up in one big plate and pour the gravy over all of it. Just eat till I'm fat, sassy, and ready to sleep.
Chris Stegman says he missed us tonight, but wanted to stop in and say howdy. Chris, thank you for stopping in. You will be proud if you go back and watch this show from the beginning tomorrow on YouTube, because you'll enjoy it that much. And thanks for stopping in. We appreciate having you. Another guy that watches us a whole lot, Palmetto Cats. Jason Lamb watches it a lot. Tall Betty, I know she's not tall, but her and I got a running joke about that. And Brandon, her husband, they watch us all the time. South Outdoors, I've seen him in a time or two. Mark from Catfish and Crappie. SK Crappie, man, dude, if you like catching panfish, this is the dude to watch.
A lot of good shows in here tonight.
There's a lot of good channels in here, and I really watch a lot of SK's crappie stuff. Fishing with Pawpaw Ed. Now, I don't know if he has a channel or not, but he watches a lot of people. Joe Buck, Stan Smith is a great one that he helps everybody out in some way, shape, or form. Justin Fishing Fetish is another guy that watches a lot of stuff and does some things on his own.
Well, he's been a big supporter for years with both of us.
He has. He really has, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Chunky. We appreciate that. Be sure to check L. Stan Perez out on Chunky Catfishing. Fishes up in Washington, D.C. area. Almost 900 people. It's like 892. I mean, he didn't catch a lot of fish.
That's great.
Entertaining. He's entertaining. Yeah. And when he catches fish, I promise there's nobody gets more excited than Chunky. What was that?
Yeah.
Junior Proctor had asked if I fish Murray. Yeah, Junior, I fish Murray for catfish. I'm just not really big on all the people out there on it riding around in jet skis. I don't have to worry about that where I fish. The alligators will take care of them.
Yeah.
We
them
have
daggum stumps will one, buddy.
Oh yeah.
we have missed a couple people tonight. I have not seen the Dockery in here yet,
Oh,
and there was somebody else that we usually have in here that I didn't see. Shameless Fishing. Welcome to Catfish Weekly. I don't remember seeing you on in here before.
There's a lot of people in there.
Yeah,
right,
it's
John.
been a great show.
That's cool, John. John said he'll give the information to you, Lyle, when he does. And there's James.
Yeah, just shoot me his shipping address and I'll get that thing out sometime this week.
James Dockery.
Yeah, he's in here.
Welcome to Catfish Weekly. I thought you'd missed us.
Yeah, but
You made it to the show. I've been talking good about you all night. Ace, there's another guy that watches a ton of stuff. Ace Catfishing.
yeah. But guys, give us one more time. Let us know what your channel, all your social media. Tell everybody about it. And
Yeah, One Over Outdoors on YouTube. One Over is one word. There's no separation, not one and then over. It's one word. Don't ask me why it's named that. We just kind of picked it. And One Over Outdoors on YouTube, Pride Outdoor Network, One Over Outdoors. Check me out on the Carolina Outdoor Adventure channel. You can look that up on any of your YouTube or any of your Roku's, Amazon Fire TV, all that stuff. One Over Outdoors. And they don't just look at me. They got a lot of great shows on there. I mean, they really do. I mean, it's just honored I'm amongst those shows, So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff on there. There's Bama Q. They cook and grill. It's awesome. So
that's right down us fat boys' daggum aisle right here, all the cooking and the eating.
I ain't kidding. James, you need to come down this winter and do some shell cracker fishing, brother.
Hey, I'll definitely, and you mind, I like to bring Wampus Cat because he loves them just as much as we do, man.
Hey, we'll
He
take the
loves
new pontoon out.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll let him know. I'm going to get in touch with you in a couple days. Talk to you about them guys. You talking about your pontoon and stuff and a few other things, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for everybody that didn't hear, check out Toon Time LLC. If you need a boat redone, not just a pontoon, they'll do anything you want. Anything you want. Ryan Stewart and his son do a great job.
Now, do y'all have a video on them big brim that you'll catch down there?
I haven't done any shell cracker videos. So this will be the first, this winter will be the first time we do a shell cracker video. So it's probably a lot of people are probably going to like that.
I promise you, I'm going to like it.
The big 3-pound shell crackers. Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, that's where that pontoon, you could already have your pot of grease frying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Drop them daggum things in that grease while they're still wiggling, son.
Oh yeah.
Hey, seen Roger from Muskrat Adventures is in here. He'll be doing a live show tomorrow night.
Yep.
Be sure to check that out. Let's see. Patriot James Catfishing's on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
The Shad and the Dockery are doing Thursday nights. I don't think either one of them can catch that many fish, but damn, they're funny. They are. I enjoy them guys so much. Who's on Friday night, James?
Friday night will be Avid, but Avid's no longer doing it right now. It'll be Catfish and Crappie be doing his show. And then Saturday night, we got Catfish Headhunters. Sunday night, we got Palmetto.
Yep. Mark has been doing a fantastic job setting in for Avid. I keep thinking Avid won't be able to stand it, and he's going to have to go live on a night that he's not working. But switching your schedule up sometimes throws you out of whack, and you need to catch up on sleep and stuff. So, but yeah, like I say, James and Shad, they catch a lot of fish. Chad was in the tournament over the weekend, done really well. I considered it a win. I saw
that. He was like 51st out of 191, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good. A lot of money up for that tournament, too.
Yeah. He done really good. We're all proud of him. I don't know how Dee puts up with him, but she evidently does.
Now,
But
John, they having that Tuesday, tomorrow, and Wednesday, that free tournament. It's a one fish tournament. The biggest fish come in for each day is $1,500.
I'll be in a tree first thing in the morning.
I
Doe season
hot to
comes.
be in that tree.
Doe season comes in the morning, and I'm ready to stick one, Bo.
Hey
It's
guys,
too hot.
I just seen that Jigging with Jake is in chat tonight. That'll be another guest we're going to have on our show before long. Be sure to tune in for that. He catches everything, kind of like you do. Catches a lot of brim and stuff. He catches catfish. He catches bass. He catches everything. He's been working real hard on his catfish videos this year, and he's had some success on some great flatheads. So you're going to want to be sure to tune in for that. Yes, sir, John Patrick. You just send me a message, and I'll get the information to John, and he can take care of you.
We'll get it out to you, brother.
John and Mike, we can't thank you enough. This is one of our longer shows we've had for a while, running a $1.45. That's pretty good.
It's been fun.
It has been fun, and if you guys would care to do it again, we'd love to have you back on our show once again sometime.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Next time, let's do a live video. If I can get it live out there in the swamp dragging for some big catfish, we'll do it live that way.
That'll work, and we'll enjoy it as much as we did tonight. We had a blast with you guys on here.
I can't thank y'all enough for the opportunity to be on there. It really means a lot to both of us.
It really was our pleasure. Mike, you're just going to have to sit in the front seat next time.
That's
you
right.
can do some talk.
That'll work. That'll work.
Hey, I got to tell you, when you guys do that brim video, I'll be about ready to have you back in here for then.
Them shell crackers? Oh, yeah.
I want to know about that. That's way cool. I want to thank everybody for joining the show tonight and being in chat. We appreciate it so much.
Means a lot.
We have a ton of viewers that stepped in, come in the show tonight. Jay's Catfishing, there you are, to watch John and Mike, and we appreciate that. Be sure to tune in Wednesday night to watch Patriot James. We're going to have another great show. As far as tonight, we're going to close her out. We want to thank you guys for watching Catfish Weekly. Be sure to tune in next Monday night. We'll be back. Thanks again.
Thank y'all.
God bless America, guys.
Bye-bye.